Today, we are excited to share with you our family's itinerary during our 6-day escape to two of the most beautiful destinations in British Columbia. Vancouver is a coastal city on the southwest corner of Canada. Vancouver was recently ranked as one of the most livable places in the world, and for obvious reasons. The beautiful natural environment and its mild oceanic climate draw people from around the world. We traveled by car, which means a big road trip is ahead of us. Vancouver is about 11-hour drive from Calgary via Trans-Canada Highway. The drive is such a treat with ever-changing views, forested mountains, low-lying clouds, rainforests, bridges, winding roads, and lakes. We reached Vancouver around 2 p.m. and were caught by busy traffic. Vancouver is the largest city in BC and the third largest census metropolitan area in Canada. Our first stop in the city is English Bay. English Bay is Vancouver's first main beach. It's located in Beach Avenue, right at the heart of downtown area. We strolled along its shoreline and enjoyed the afternoon sun as we feast our eyes on the stunning views over the ocean. English Bay is such a great place for a family as it offers many activities from walking on the English Bay seawall, beach volleyball, laying in the sun, to sitting on one of the many benches to enjoy the view. Within walking distance are cafes, bars, and lounges. This certainly is where ocean meets the city. The kids did not miss their chance to play and wander. We strolled along the sandy beach and just had a great time soaking the view and the lovely weather. We've also seen interesting sights including the welcoming symbol of Inukshuk and this barge, which is an accidental attraction as it got stranded after a terrible storm. To see the English Bay when in Vancouver to us comes highly recommended. From here, we made it back to the hotel for dinner and rest for the night. The next morning, we head to the North Shore, Vancouver, which is known for its proximity to nature and outdoor recreation opportunities. Our first stop is the Capilano Suspension Bridge Park. Capilano Bridge is known to thrill visitors since 1889 by crossing a wooden suspension bridge. This is a very touristy place, so we had to take it off our schedule early in the morning. The kids are both under 6 years old, so they get to enter the park for free, while adults are at $62.95. The first section of the park is the Story Center, where we walk through life-size photo murals and artifacts, telling the story of the early days and the creation of the Capilano Bridge. Here is the Kiapalano, which includes a collection of totem poles, each involving a captivating story. From the totem poles, we got around this courtyard to visit the Capilano's Trading, a gift shop that also sells outdoor apparels, clothing, and accessories. Now here we are braving to cross the 137 meters long bridge suspended 70 meters above the Capilano River. At first, the kids were nervous because the bridge is swaying with every step, but after a while, they took the rest of it like a champ. One fun fact is that the suspension bridge can hold 97 elephants or 203 moose, which to visitors like us is really reassuring. Rainforest Adventure is waiting for you when you reach the other end of the bridge. The rainforest is dominated with Douglas fir, some red cedar, and western hemlock trees. Interpretive panels provide interesting information about rainforests and its inhabitants. We also got to see a hawk and kestrel during a live talk. The next section is most likely the favorite attraction for our kids. It is the Treetops Adventures. as it was designed to be safely accessible to visitors of all ages. This consists of 7-foot bridges suspended between old-growth trees, forming a walkway up to 30 meters above the forest floor. The Treetops Adventure gave us a thrill of being high among the trees as we enjoy the squirrel's eye view of the forest. The kids had a wonderful time starting from the treehouse where they grabbed one of the Rainforest Explorer booklet and completed the collection of data while learning more about the forest. The last attraction in the park is the Cliffwalk. The Cliffwalk is a 700-foot-long path along the granite walls of the canyon, with a semicircle bridge as its centerpiece. The walkway is attached to the cliff via a series of steel cables and beams, offering amazing views of the gorge below. No matter what your thrill level might be, at Capilano Suspension Bridge Park, there is something for everyone looking to experience nature from 3 breathtaking perspectives. About 8 minutes drive from Capilano is our next activity this morning. The Grouse Mountain is the peak of Vancouver, another must-do when you visit Vancouver. After purchasing our tickets, we head on to the iconic Red Sky Ride. The Sky Ride operates year-round, departing every 15 minutes. The Sky Ride gave us an opportunity to see the jaw-dropping, majestic nature of BC as it unfolds on this 8-minute gondola ride. Such an unforgettable experience. Sky and Amaya gush themselves with a view of Douglas fir trees as the tramway lifts us up with 2,800 feet elevation. The operator also provides helpful guidance on what we're looking at from the distance. Other ways to get to the summit is via a steep and challenging trail known as the Grouse Grind. The summit of Grouse Mountain gave us an incredible view of the city. The panorama extends back across the inlet to downtown and beyond to Mount Baker in Washington State and west to Vancouver Island. After a relaxing view at the mountaintop, we explored Peak Chalet, which offers shopping and retail experiences. Dining options like altitudes, the observatory, and the cafe, while the Theater in the Sky provides information on local wildlife. There are also interpretive panels where you can learn about the resort history, giving a glimpse of over 90 years' existence as a resort. Highlights of Vancouver 2010 Olympics were also on display. Grouse Mountain indeed is more than just a view. It is a classic destination that offers a wide array of activities and is a splendid place to visit any time of the year. Getting around in Vancouver is both efficient and convenient. The TransLink system operates network of buses, trains, SkyTrain, and SeaBus. Car sharing is hugely popular like Evo, Lyft, and Uber. It's also a place perfect for pedal power. We've seen several Mobi bike share stations across the city. When traveling with car, one tip we can share with you is to download any of the parking app prior to visiting because it made our parking experience a breeze. The app automatically knows the area we intend to park, will also provide us a countdown, a good reminder that prevents one from getting a ticket. The next stop for the day is Granville Island. Granville Island is not actually an island but more of a peninsula. Here, we visited the Granville Public Market. It is an indoor market featuring a fascinating assortment of colorful food and produce stores. You can spend half a day strolling around the vegetable stalls, artisanal cheeses, handmade chocolates, candies, and baked goods. We love the outdoor boardwalk overlooking the city skyline from across the Falls Creek. There's a lot of benches here where one can rest and enjoy snacks. The place feels so alive with cheerful sounds from live entertainment to people just hanging out and enjoying the view. The girls were excited to explore the Kids Market, which is our next stop for the day. The Kids Market is a 2-story market with unique shops for toys, clothes, books, kid-friendly hair salon, and activities for children. It certainly is a kid's paradise. Sky tried one of these bumper cars and they're pretty amazing. This is quite a destination for family fun and adventure. After the kids' market, we went to ride an aquabus. This is a neat way to experience the water. Little ferries like Aquabus and Falls Creek ferries zigzag their way from North Shore to the south of Falls Creek. The locals use this as a regular means of transportation, but for people visiting like us, this is a unique way to see the city in another way. The fare is so affordable too. We had a fun experience as we enjoyed the spectacular waterfront scenery, the sight of recreational vehicles, and if you're lucky to sail alongside a pirate adventure ship. We also saw other parts of the city like the Science World and BC Place. From Granville, we dropped off at Yaletown Station. Just look at these recreational ships moored at the dock. Yaletown is one of the trendiest neighborhoods. It's a quaint town with lots of restaurants, bars, and lounges. We walked along this brick road pathway and then found ourselves in Lam Park. Lam Park is a multi-purpose space in Yaletown. The park is surrounded with luxurious condos, restaurants on one side with Falls Creek on the other. We found ourselves a spot to sit in while we let the kids play as we also enjoyed the sceneries of tall buildings, large field, and of course, the marina. After strolling in Yaletown, we called it a day and went back to the hotel. The next morning, we head out early in the hotel so we can explore more and for our day to be not as rushed. Our journey today begins here at Queen Elizabeth Park. Queen Elizabeth Park is situated on Little Mountain and is the highest point in Vancouver proper. It is a former rock quarry that has been converted into a beautiful city park with flower gardens. Admission to the park is free, but just like most places in the city, we have to pay for parking. When we got there, we immediately saw a lot of people doing their morning exercises, some in front and around of the dancing fountain. Amaya was fascinated. She even stopped by to wave hello. After the courtyard with the dancing fountain and the knife-edged two-piece structure is the Blodell Conservatory, which has over 100 free-flying birds and is a tropical paradise. Queen Elizabeth Park gives you the best panoramic views of downtown Vancouver. It is particularly cloudy this morning, but this must be more majestic on a clear day. Next is the Quarry Garden. It will give you a mini sunken garden feel. We descend using these stairs to see the gardens up close, and we walk along the winding paved path. The place is so well maintained with its collection of exotic and native trees, plants, and flowers. It was a lovely walk crossing bridges, stepping over boulders, and the girls were so happy on this stroll, they're even checking out under some of the trees if they could spot a fairy. It really is a great place to walk and get some fresh air. After our morning walk in the park, we went over and drive on to the next attraction on our list, Vancouver Aquarium. Vancouver Aquarium is one of the top-ranked kid-friendly activities that can be done in Vancouver. The aquarium is home to more than 65,000 incredible ocean species and amazing aquatic life. It is located in Stanley Park and is a major draw to tourists and locals alike. The aquarium is divided into several exhibit areas. We went in first to discover species native to the rocky Pacific coast of BC in Treasures of BC Coast. We walked around wide-eyed among schools of colorful fish in the tropics. The Wondrous Jellies exhibit is one of the best jellyfish spectacles we've seen. Is it even possible to watch these gelatinous gems without feeling a bit awestruck? We've also experienced the diversity and humidity of the rainforest in the Amazon Gallery. This massive tank houses several aquatic life creatures and will show guests some of the species presented in the Strait of Georgia. We are happy that the kids went nose-to-glass experience with tropical fish, starfish, sea anemones, turtles, and lots more. The aquarium rescues and rehabilitates marine mammals every year, and the ticket money goes directly to the needy animals. With this, we highly recommend you pay a visit. Before heading out, we let the kids make their own light patterns by swiping on the screen. The gift shop offers memorable aquatic-themed gifts crafted from BC. It's honestly quite a challenge to get the kids out of this paradise. The place is perfect for families with little kids who are looking for some safe, family-friendly indoor fun. We decided to take off our next destination, Gastown. Gastown is a historical neighborhood where 19th century Vancouver began, and it is known for its cute cafes, hip restaurants, and trendy boutiques, housed in stunning Victorian architecture. From old brick buildings to the cobblestone streets, Gastown is such a charming little neighborhood to explore. This is also where we enjoyed lunch with the kids. The old spaghetti factory is our way to go. Their location here is adorned with classic designs and even have an old-fashioned trolley car for guests to dine in. After lunch, we will not miss one of the most popular attractions in Gastown. We visited the famous steam clock. It is one of the only few steam clocks left in the world, which is pretty cool. We found it right at the corner of Cambie and Water Street. Just a few blocks from Gastown is our next stop, Canada Place. Canada Place is a Canadian icon in Vancouver with its giant sails that is easily recognizable no matter where you are in the city. It is location of the landmark Vancouver Convention Center and cruise ship terminal, where 5,000 tourists today disembark from their Alaska cruises to spend the day in the city. It is also home to Port Vancouver, Canada's largest port. On this particular day, we've seen a few cruise ships docked at the terminal, including this mega ship from Royal Caribbean's Serenade of the Sea. Aside from the port, Fly Over Canada is also located in Canada Place. Fly Over Canada is a flight simulation ride that will let you soar in breathtaking landscapes, introducing you to this great country. One of our kids is still too small to be accommodated, but we're excited to try it on our next visit. Walking around, we saw these photo panels on display celebrating Canada's unique heritage. Downtown Vancouver is very easy to navigate on foot. In fact, we've seen a couple more viewpoints and attractions this afternoon. This massive digital orca, a beautiful piece of art, is located just outside of the convention center. The sculpture commemorates the workers in and around Burrard Inlet and Cole Harbour. Also outside of the convention center is the Olympic Cauldron, which is a reminder of the city's extraordinary experience on its ability to host this large and international event. It's standing majestic at 10 meters tall, set with a beautiful harbor backdrop. It's about 7 p.m. and we still have enough energy to stroll around Stanley Park. Stanley Park is a 405-hectare park that borders downtown Vancouver. Stanley Park is an urban oasis crisscrossed with hiking trails and encircled by a 10-kilometer seawall that hugs the shoreline. So here we are walking along the seawall. It'll take 3 hours to complete the entire circuit, or you may choose to go to bike rental shops near the park entrance and complete the loop for an hour or two. Along the way, there are many points of interest where we stopped by. The Royal Vancouver Yacht Club, the collection of totem poles, sacred monuments to First Nations, the 9 o'clock gun, which is fired each evening at 9 p.m. Brockton Point Lighthouse, built in 1914, marked the eastern tip of the park. The very old hollow tree, an 800-year-old western red cedar tree that died but left a huge hollow stump. We head on to Prospect Point, another viewpoint which offers excellent views of the Lionsgate Bridge, North Shore Mountains, and Burrard Inlet. Then we head out to check out the beaches. The third beach, a popular swimming and sunbathing spot. The second beach is another nice beach in Stanley. There are logs to sit in and is close to other activities like public swimming pool. That wraps up our evening and third day. The next morning, we checked out of the hotel early as there's quite a road trip ahead of us. We will be spending 2 days exploring Vancouver Island. First, we drove to Horseshoe Bay to catch a ferry going to Nanaimo. We recommend to book ahead of time as it's not easy to be a chance passenger. We boarded the Queen of Cowichan, one of the ferries in the BC Ferries fleet. Once you board your car onto the ferry, it is a must to turn off your engine and leave your vehicle for the rest of the ferry ride. So here we are exploring the ferry. Some of the amenities available are a couple of cafes, gift shop, tourist information brochures, workstations, and kids play area. There are lots of seats on the ferry where you can sit inside or outside. The 1.5-hour ferry ride is a fun experience for us. We especially enjoy the sea breeze, plus we get to see the unobstructed view of the sea when you're out at the passengers viewing deck and the sun deck. Forecast says it's gonna rain, so we're still feeling lucky that we only got thick clouds this morning. We've officially reached Vancouver Island and docked to Nanaimo, a town that's known for its long shorelines and forested mountains. From Nanaimo, we kept driving for almost 3 hours in order to reach Tofino. Along the way, we had a couple of stops. First is Cathedral Grove, which is known as Macmillan Provincial Park. The trails leads visitors through the mighty stands of this coastal forest, some large Douglas fir that dates back to over 800 years. Next stop is the beautiful Cameron Lake, a popular recreational area for swimmers and picnickers. We've experienced traffic congestion because of major road work. Single-lane traffic was in effect and we waited for about half an hour to have our turn on the main road. Welcome to Tofino. Tofino is known to be the surf capital of Canada. We first had to visit the village core. It totally brings a small town vibe with relaxed seaside resort scenery. Tofino is also known for its unique seafood shops. We totally recommend checking out the Dockside Smoked Fish Store. They have the best smoked salmon. We also came down to this local food market and tried the chicken sandwich at Chirps. And man, believe us when we tell you it is one of the best chicken sandwiches we've tasted in a long while. We got the Nashville and Buffalo Sandos. After we're filled up, we went in our way to Long Beach, which is located in the Pacific Rim National Park. Long Beach Tofino is a haven for people who love surfing. It is a sweeping sandy beach where people walk, picnic, build sandcastles, or simply be amazed by the gorgeous views. Can't stop raving about how blessed we are to have this weather. Not the best, but better than raining. We spent a wonderful time walking along the shoreline and have brought with us some special family memories. From here, we took the same road back to Nanaimo, going to Victoria City, and after 4.5-hour drive, here we are at the capital city of British Columbia, Victoria. We got to the hotel and we'll explore the city first thing in the morning. The next day, we're all excited to take off our first activity. We went to Victoria's best-known attraction located approximately 20 kilometers north of downtown, the Butchart Gardens. Once the site was a cement quarry where Robert Pym and Jenny Butchart transformed the old limestone deposits into the beginning of the garden's most well-known attraction, the Sunken Garden in 1904. We head on to explore the garden using the given flower guide. From here, we were greeted by the lovely smell and vibrant colors, and it's really serving us a powerful spring vibe. We had such a lovely morning stroll around here. The kids loved checking out the collections of flowers in each garden with concrete footpaths, small bridges, waterfalls, ponds, and fountains. "100 years ago, Jenny Butchart planted 2 arborvitae on the main path in the Sunken Garden and established the symbolic presence of the Tree of Life. Although the trees have been replaced quite a few times, the succeeding generations of Butcharts retain these iconic trees. The former Butchart residence, which is now home to the dining room restaurant, offering high tea for guests. Ate Sky acted as our guide during the walk while navigating the garden's map. She also snapped some photos while Amaya is sporting her favorite yoga pose. Even took a photo of mom and dad, which made the pic extra special. We absolutely love this stunning display of tulips right before we entered the Rose Carousel. Undoubtedly, Amaya and Sky's favorite activity in the gardens, of course, we wouldn't miss the ride. We almost went in for the second round at the carousel. Henry and I both chose the Japanese garden as one of the best in the Butchart Gardens. We found it beyond delightful, and we truly got the sense of a Japanese garden with a bamboo arch, paths to walk, corners to go around. You have the stone, water features, and the wind through trees. There are many more things to say about the whole garden, so watch out for another video. Overall, it's worth making a journey to Victoria to see the world's famous Butchart Gardens. Truly special in so many ways. Next in our agenda led us to the Hatley Castle, built by the Dunsmores, and is a symbol of the family's affluence. The castle was completed in 1908. After being sold, it is now the administrative center of Royal Roads University. The architectural character of the castle made it a popular filming location like X-Men movies and Smallville, to name a few. For our lunch, we drove to the Fisherman's Wharf. Fisherman's Wharf is a unique marine destination. We saw here colorful floating homes, a bustling plaza which offers food kiosks along a working harbor. We got our lunch at the fish store and ate at the dockside. We certainly love the seafood chowder, fried BC halibut fish sandwich, and salmon tacos, which are all amazing. And kids being kids got themselves some sweet treats. It was also nice to see a water taxi. There was a nearby playground where we let them play for a bit before we leave. We now headed on to a sightseeing walk within the downtown core of Victoria. First, we walk along the inner harbour. It is a vibrant centre of action in downtown Victoria. It is very scenic waterfront walkway. From here, you can already admire the legislative buildings at a distance. Next is the British Columbia Parliament Buildings. It is a home to the Legislative Assembly of British Columbia. A statue of Queen Victoria stands on the front lawn, as well as a statue of a soldier to commemorate the province's World War I, World War II, and Korean War dead. The neo-Baroque buildings and the surrounding gardens are a sight to see, popular to all visitors, and is a must-see. The Fairmont Empress is one of the oldest and most famous hotels in Victoria, located on Government Street, facing the harbour and just a short distance from the Parliament buildings. We went strolling along the Government Street as we head to Chinatown. Government Street is a popular street with chock full of shops, bars, restaurants, outdoor dining patios, and if you take the time to look past the stores, are wonderful old buildings with beautiful architecture. Victoria's Chinatown is the oldest in Canada, with its beginning in the mass influx of miners in 1858. One of the tourist attractions of Chinatown is Fan Tan Alley. The alley was originally a gambling district with restaurants and many small shops. Fan Tan Alley holds the record for the narrowest street in Canada, only 35 inches wide. Last on our list to visit in Victoria is located a short drive from downtown Harbour, Craig the Rock Castle. Craig the Rock Castle is a beautiful historic Victorian-era mansion built in the 1890s by a wealthy BC coal baron, Robert Dunsmuir. This mansion was designated a National Historic Site of Canada due to its landmark status in Victoria. It's time to go back to mainland Vancouver. We drove to Swartz Bay to catch a ferry going to Tuawasen Port. Here we sailed on the Spirit of Vancouver Island. When on board, we went to enjoy this 1.5-hour ferry ride, mostly in the sun deck. This is a more scenic path compared to our first ride going to Nanaimo. The ferry crosses the Strait of Georgia, at some point even on US waters, with many amazing islands to see. Some feel so close that you can almost jump to them. We also got to see other ferries sailing on another direction. This is truly a fantastic route. We got our cameras out to capture the natural beauty of BC. We reached Vancouver at night and checked ourselves into a hotel. End of day 5. And for our final day, we hopped in the car to visit Vancouver's Chinatown. It is the largest Chinatown in Canada. It is famous for its restaurants, stores, and Sun Yat-sen Garden. We picked up a couple of souvenirs from one of the shops and even walked away until Gastown. There we checked another store for more souvenirs. The kids craved for some donuts, so we drove to Granville Market to get a box of Lee's donuts. We also spent some time at the Harbour. Then we moved towards the downtown to walk along Robson Street, Vancouver's most fashionable shopping and dining precinct. If you want to shop, sample European delicacies, sip lattes at sidewalk cafes, then this is the place to do it. This is also where we tried the Japa dog, a hot dog with distinct Japanese twist. I tried tonkatsu while Henry got spicy cheese terry mayo. Both are tasty and satisfyingly good. Walking along, we also saw the newest branch of a famous Filipino food chain in Vancouver, Jollibee. The kids rushed inside Daiso upon seeing the toys on display, and of course, Dad got them some items to bring home. Robson Square shows Renaissance civic buildings and an entire block courthouse complex. We're almost ready to go back to Calgary, but we thought what a good way to end our Vancouver trip by visiting another beach. That's when we head to Capilano Beach, known simply as Kits by locals. This is a trendy beachside suburb southwest of downtown. It boasts long sandy beach, warm shallow water, beach volleyball, and spectacular mountain view. We let the kids play in the sand and just hang out by the beach. And that wraps up our 6-day trip to the beautiful places in Vancouver and Vancouver Island. We surely had some wonderful time. This itinerary includes all of the highlights, and if you made it this far, we hope that our experience will somehow help you on your next adventure in Vancouver, British Columbia. Thank you and appreciate all your support. We'll see you on our next video.